Engineers control the way people interact with the world through the infrastructure and everyday items we use. Ensuring the welfare of people is crucial for engineers to understand. When we lack those ethics, buildings crumble, bridges collapse, and in more extreme cases, major tragedies such as the nuclear meltdown in Chernobyl can occur.
I'm Christopher Rohde, and in this video, I'm going to discuss a nationally recognized society that provides the ethical standards for all engineers. Today's presentation will focus on the impact of NSPE and professional engineering through its methods, the people who created it, and the problems and those solutions that arise from it. The National Society of Professional Engineers was created in 1934. This society provides key standards for all engineers using their code ethics. This code details the standards of integrity and honesty through what are known as the 6 fundamental canons. These canons include holding paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, issuing public statements in a truthful manner, conducting ourselves honorably, responsibly, and ethically, and are broken down for engineers to reference. They not only provide the ethics standards, but they also allow engineers to become what are known as professional engineers in order to certify their ethical knowledge. The certification is similar to how a lawyer has to take the bar exam, or a surgeon must take the MCAT exam. Only engineers are not required, even though it is recommended if an engineer wants to submit plans for public authorities or approve plans for clients. As I stated before, engineers can become licensed to be professional engineers. Within the NSPE website, they detail the process to become one. It is a rigorous journey and takes a very long time to complete, which is needed to help hold the standards at a high level. Engineers must first earn a 4-year degree in engineering from an ABET accredited program. ABET ensures that a college program meets a set of quality standards in engineering courses. Once a student has their degree in engineering, they must take and pass the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, which is a standardized exam that tests the engineer in the basic concepts that relate to their specialized field. If they pass the exam, they must then shadow and gain 4 years of experience from a licensed professional engineer, and then pass the Principles and Practice Engineering exam. Once these steps are all completed, they are then licensed to become a professional engineer. As I said before, it's a rigorous course that takes at the minimum of 8 years to complete, but ensures that the person licensed is competent as an engineer. In 1903, a man named Clarence Johnston was developing Wyoming after the end of the Wild West age. It was tough to develop this land considering it was never developed before, so many people were rushing to gain access of state-owned water sources. Those people claimed to be engineers, but provided very poor quality plans for irrigation systems. Thus, Johnston created a plan to test and see if they truly understood the methods of engineering. These lack of standards eventually caused Johnston to present his proposed law to the Wyoming legislature in 1907, where it was eventually made a law. A board was then created to accept permits and applications, which led to other states around the United States to adopt this law. After the Industrial Revolution in America, David Steinman met with other engineers at Columbia University to discuss legislative issues and recognizing the engineering profession by incorporating an ethics code to address the non-technical concerns. During this meeting, they adopted the 6 canons as well as created the Board of Ethical Review. Thus, the NSPE was created. Once this board was established, states started adopting the legislature that created a review board, and eventually Montana became the final state to adopt a law that promotes licensure. The NSPE then created tests that were determined by each state to license engineers. But they were all different, so in an effort to standardize the exams, the NSPE proposed a 2-part test that would be given in 1965 for the first time, which we now know as the Fundamentals of Engineering exam. After the many disasters that plagued the early 1900s in America, states adopted the laws and realized quickly that the licensure and review of professional engineers drastically caused these accidents to minimize. Now, plans cannot be approved unless a professional engineer has given the approval for plans after a strict review. Their review holds credibility that the plans were made within the interest of the public safety in mind. This has made our lives more convenient and safer and will continue to do so as professional engineers make up nearly a third of the 1.5 million engineers. Professional engineering itself does not present many problems, as it is a society based on presenting problems that arise from unethical practices. That being said, the process to become an engineer might potentially be troubling for some people. As it is seen with any standardized testing, students may have trouble recalling information during a stressful exam, or even making payments for an exam that costs more than $100 to take. Overall, it's a small potential problem that arises, but there can be ways around it. It is true that the exam could be stressful and time-consuming for those wanting to be professional engineers, but it's not impossible knowing that close to 450,000 students have passed both exams and are licensed in engineering. The problems are not standardized to be based on simple mathematics, but instead focused on thinking like an engineer and understanding the safety and welfare of other people. There are ways to study and prepare, which is available through many resources, as well as financial help through the testing website. It also should be noted that the pass rate for the exams is above 60%, meaning those who have common knowledge in safety and a good understanding of engineering principles should be able to pass the exam with no problems.
Overall, professional engineering has revolutionized the engineering field by incorporating ethics policies. Overall, professional engineering has revolutionized the engineering field by incorporating ethics policies. As engineers, we should all be encouraged to become licensed professional engineers so that we can prove we have the credibility of upholding public welfare. Thank you for listening, and for more information regarding the NSPE, as well as information regarding the Fundamentals of Engineering exam, please visit the links below.